Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Eric Franke is in for the vacationing Susan Simon. And
I'm in for Charlotte,
Yes, Charlotte was scheduled to be on today.
Deep on the depth chart now, getting way down to the,
yeah, it's just
C team.
That's what you end up with, folks. Sorry.
Sorry about that. And it's raining on top of it.
Yeah.
Coming down pretty good.
Yeah, it is right now. We're also going to take your plant and garden questions later on in this hour. Lisa Briggs and the Bruce Company will be here, so if you have a question, might start thinking that up. We'll let you know when to call in. But first, here's what's making news at 4. Concerns remain high this afternoon as ICE officials visit more businesses in the Madison area.
And for the first time, we are hearing from the CEO from WTS Paradigm, the Middleton software company, where that workplace shooting took place last week. We'll hear what he had to say about the events that happened.
And the man once known as America's Dad is headed to prison. We have a reaction as Bill Cosby is sentenced. But first, let's take a look outside. Yeah, it is coming down cats and dogs.
Down here on the west side, anyway.
This is a shot a little earlier as the storms were moving in. But the weather words jacket weather ahead, a big change coming. And Dana Fuller is with us in the studio today because
out of the lightning.
Yeah, lightning outside.
We can see some. Right now, we're really talking about this heavy rain threat. And the good news for us, the rain's moving through fairly quickly. We did already have one severe thunderstorm warning up at the edge of Columbia County get canceled. Now we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for much of the southeast corner of the state. Heavy rainfall for us right now in Dane County. Again, that heaviest rainfall, though, right up at the edge. Parts of Columbia County starting to see that rain continuing to move east very quickly. Just looking at the last 3 hours, this line has entered Wisconsin, is now exiting much of the western side of the state, continuing through that central line and headed east. The stronger storms, the good news for us here, are pretty far south down along the edge of northern Illinois. But we are going to deal with just a little bit of rain, a few tenths of an inch as this line continues to slide through. We'll be out of here in just about 2 or 3 more hours. We'll start to dry up, and that severe thunderstorm watch is expected to continue to be canceled as things do continue to shift east for us and clear out. 62 right now, Madison. That cool air certainly off to the west. Tomorrow, that's when the jacket weather starts to move in. It's going to be a little cooler outside for us. Highs in the upper 50s. We'll start off tomorrow morning in the upper 40s. So I want to check in real quick with your first alert traffic update. Right now, things are rolling along fairly smoothly, which is always good news. The only real slowdown worth noting, that would definitely be along the Beltline. We do have some slowdowns there. Much of Dane County looks okay right now if you're trying to travel west or eastbound. Speeds reduced quite a bit. Westbound down to about 21 miles per hour, eastbound 18. That's near Fish Hatchery Road. Down near Verona, 151 southbound is about 12 miles an hour. Then Main Street heading towards downtown Verona, seeing a little bit of a delay right now. Overall, though, no major accidents to report. Janesville to the Beltline will take you about 29 minutes, and then westbound Middleton to Sauk City about 21 minutes, which is a little slower than usual, but not too much. We'll keep a close eye on traffic and weather. We'll take a little closer update also, or a closer look at how things are going to dry up for us for the rest of the week in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thanks, Dana. Madison officials have confirmed 12 people have been arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement just since Friday, and that includes one additional arrest just since yesterday.
Many local businesses are being affected by the fear ICE being here has created. Amanda Quintana is here with how those businesses plan to move forward.
Yes, well, right now there's a lot of questions, a lot of misperceptions of ICE coming into a business and detaining everyone. Today, business leaders with the Latino Chamber of Commerce met with attorneys to figure out what they should do if this happens to them. Attorneys say there is a risk, but ICE entering schools or churches is pretty unlikely. They want to make sure owners know their rights, know a warrant is needed, and what to look for on that warrant, but to not be fearful. They say it's not likely ICE will go into a restaurant and start asking everyone at their tables for IDs, but they can be targeting a worker.
It is highly likely that they will do it going to the kitchen, okay, looking for somebody, or if somebody works there and that person, has some records, somebody that they were targeting specifically, yes, they can definitely do that.
A handful of local businesses closed down over the weekend, employees not showing up out of fear. But out of today's meeting, leaders agreed they should stay open and continue their contributions to our economy. Just be aware of their rights. The Latino Chamber of Commerce is planning a marketing strategy, creating flyers that businesses can post, essentially showing that they are not afraid and they will continue to work to keep their employees safe and customers.
It's important.
Yes.
Amanda, thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. UW-Madison Chancellor Rebecca Blank is on standby to testify once again in a federal lawsuit brought by student athletes against the NCAA. A reporter from Law 360, that is a news outlet covering the trial in Oakland, California, said attorneys representing the NCAA claim that Blank contradicted a statement she made on the stand earlier in this trial in September. With a written statement provided by communications staff to News 3, the reporter tweeted this morning that Blank is now on standby via video to testify once again in that case. For the first time, the CEO of WTS Paradigm is reacting to the shooting that happened at his software company last week.
Meanwhile, other businesses in our area are preparing in case they find themselves in a similar situation, hoping, of course, they never do. Our Rose Schmidt is here to tell us what you should know. Rose?
Well, Dane County deputies tell me most people who participate in active shooter trainings are nervous. No one ever wants to think about that happening to them or their families. But the reality is it happened in Middleton last week, and this training is important. St. Mary's Hospital held 2 active shooter training sessions today. They were planned months ago, long before the tragedy last week. One WTS Paradigm employee is still in the hospital, and the CEO says he's allowing his staff members to come back at their own pace.
Had you guys done an active shooter response training before at your workplace?
We have not done that.
Is that something that you guys will now do in the future?
Today is about these employees and healing. We have not determined what next steps we're taking across the board.
Now, if you should ever find yourself in an active shooter situation, deputies say you should run if you are able, otherwise hide in an area that is out of the shooter's view, and as a last resort, fight and throw things at the shooter. Deputy Jocelyn Longley says since the Middleton shooting happened last week, the sheriff's office has had about 30 businesses requesting the training. Dane County deputies have trained more than 12,000 people over the last 2.5 years. They're booking trainings right now through February and March.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live important information. Thank you.
The man who at one time was known as America's dad is headed to prison for sexual assault. Bill Cosby learning his fate at a hearing in suburban Philadelphia this afternoon. Kenneth Craig has more from the courthouse in Norristown, PA.
Bill Cosby walked out of court in handcuffs, headed to prison for 3 to 10 years. The disgraced comedian was convicted earlier this year of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand 14 years ago at his Pennsylvania mansion. When handing down the sentence, Judge Stephen O'Neill said, "It is time for justice. Mr. Cosby, this is all circled back to you. The time has come." Judge O'Neill also read from Constand's victim impact statement when she wrote the entertainer took her beautiful young spirit and crushed it. Cosby's attorneys asked for house arrest, arguing the legally blind Cosby is too old and helpless to do time in prison. But the judge said no one is above the law or should be treated differently. The judge also declared Cosby a sexually violent predator. That means he has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life and undergo monthly counseling.
This has been the most racist and sexist trial in the history of the United States. Dr. Cosby has been one of the greatest civil rights leaders in the United States for over the last 50 years.
Through 2 trials, Cosby has strongly denied any wrongdoing, despite at least 60 women accusing him of sexual misconduct. Kenneth Craig for WISC News 3.
Cosby never testified in his own defense. He also did not address the court before learning his sentence.
President Trump spoke before the United Nations General Assembly today, where he delivered a pointed message to world leaders. In the Trump White House, it's America first.
My administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country.
That statement brought laughter from the General Assembly. The president responded with saying he didn't expect that reaction, but it's okay. He spoke about America's booming economy and said the country is now standing up to the world. His sharpest criticism was for Iran, accusing its leaders of a corrupt dictatorship. At a side meeting with the president of Colombia, President Trump said Tehran will eventually come back to the negotiating table.
At some point, we will have meaningful discussions and probably do a deal. I don't see how it works for them otherwise.
From there, world leaders gathered to rub elbows at a luncheon where they toasted to peace and prosperity around the world.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he is confident that Brett Kavanaugh will be confirmed to the Supreme Court. Senators say they are eager to hear from Dr. Christine Blasey Ford Thursday, the first person to come forward and accuse Judge Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct. But both sides are accusing the other of playing politics. Senator McConnell called the accusations a smear.
Vague, unsubstantiated, and uncorroborated allegations of 30-plus-year-old misconduct is nowhere near grounds to nullify someone's career or destroy their good name.
To say they're making it up, to discredit their sincere testimony is nothing more than a partisan hit job. Leader McConnell owes an apology to Dr. Ford for labeling her allegations a smear job.
Senate Republicans will not personally question Blasey Ford at Thursday's hearing. They have hired an attorney to ask questions for them. Leader McConnell says a vote will happen quickly after that hearing. A section of Interstate 3990, the expansion project, will be completed a year ahead of schedule.
The impacted area is north of Janesville up to Edgerton. Governor Walker says that costs have come in lower, which is helping speed things along, and that around $70 million will be advanced. This money will allow other areas of the expansion project to be accelerated, including the interstate and Beltline interchange. He says this will have a big impact on the entire state.
This is an incredible project. It's one that people have talked about for years, not only because of transportation, because of safety, because of commerce, and because of tourism. This is an important entryway into the state of Wisconsin for all those reasons. It's important for all the communities here in Rock County, going up into Dane County, and really opening up the door to all the rest of the state of Wisconsin.
The 3990 corridor is about 45 miles long, running from the Illinois state line to the Beltline interchange here in Madison. The entire project expected to also finish ahead of schedule, wrapping up in the fall of 2021.
Madison Police Department asking for help identifying the teens who ran from a crashed, stolen SUV this afternoon. They were inside the stolen SUV when it ran the red light at Mineral Point and South Gammon roads there. You saw the collision. Showing that SUV T-boning another vehicle on the driver's side. The teens jumped out of the SUV before it did come to a complete stop. There you see they took off running. No one seriously injured, thankfully. Anyone with information is asked to call Madison Area Crime Stoppers. The number on your screen, 608-266-6014.
Yikes.
Yeah, there is more to come at 4. Coming to a restaurant near you. 3D printed food?
That's what's on the menu at a restaurant in Amsterdam. We'll find out how they're doing it. That's when Live at 4 continues.
At her
Welcome back. 3D printers are being used in hospitals, auto assembly lines, factories, and now to make food.
Yeah, and there is a restaurant, this is in the Netherlands, that is using the technology to create unique dishes for customers. 3D printers don't actually cook these meals, but they pump pureed ingredients into layer upon layer, you know, delicate designs here. We're talking avocado octopus or meatballs filled with curry sauce.
Why 3D food printing?
Something extra for my guests to surprise them.
Does it change the food itself?
It don't change anything about the flavor, for example.
Now, if dishes like these prove to be popular and the devices, which are each nearly $4,000, get cheaper, the chef believes this 3D printing could improve nutrition and fight food waste by transforming unappealing food into tasty works of art.
I don't understand it.
I still don't get the 3D printer thing.
Looks good, though.
Unbelievable.
Stocks were mixed on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials lost nearly 70 points, closing at 26,492. The Nasdaq Composite Index gained 14, but the S&P 500 was off 3. Well, September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and this Saturday marks the UW's annual Sparkle of Hope event at Monona Terrace to raise money and awareness in that fight.
And today we have the story of a local woman fighting to win her own cancer battle simply so that she can help others.
Love works with everything.
Hortense Momu is one of those people who brightens your day with her very presence.
Make me feel alive.
A contagious smile, an air of optimism.
Give hugs, talk. We are all in this together.
She had already raised 2 children, studying for a second career in her 40s to fulfill a dream of becoming a nurse. That's when she was faced with the challenge of her life.
I was taking a class, and I felt some pain on the side of my stomach, and the pain was radiating in the back.
After initially being told it was something minor, she persisted, taking herself to the hospital where doctors took a closer look.
And then they did the imaging test, and then they found out I have cancer, ovarian cancer. And they told me stage 4.
Just like that, without warning, her entire life sent in a different direction.
I didn't have any previous symptom. I didn't have anything to warn me about it. It was just like that.
While she needed to get herself healthy, the goal of becoming a nurse to help others was never far from her mind, despite exhausting treatments.
She'll come into the office throughout that time and was like, you know, all I want, Dr. Spencer, I just want to have enough energy to take my test. And I'm like, you're still taking classes? She's like, oh yeah, I have to graduate.
Along with her oncologist, Dr. Ryan Spencer, with the UW Carbone Cancer Center, that dream remained in focus.
Spencer, I told him, this is important to me, help me out, work with me, and we'll do it. And he's like, I know, I understand, this is your goal, it's important to you, I'm gonna work with you.
I found someone else who wanted something to help other people so bad, and I can relate to that. I could understand what her goals were and how much that mattered to her life as a human being.
Even when the cancer returned in January of 2017, she pushed through, even taking exams while undergoing chemotherapy treatment.
I was at the hospital. I have chemo in one dripping in one arm, and I'm taking my exam. That's how I did it.
If you see even what she's done after she's had this diagnosis, it is as much as people do when they've never had a cancer diagnosis. It's just remarkable.
I had chemo brain too. I couldn't remember anything.
With Dr. Spencer's help and fellow nursing students recording lectures that she missed, less than 3 years after that initial diagnosis, Hortense Momu, cancer fighter, graduated with a degree in nursing.
I didn't do it alone. I have all the cheerleaders I can have. I have all the backup I can have, and I have my faith that got me through.
And when she walked at graduation, a special guest got an invitation.
Dr. Spencer was able to work with me and work with my goals and what kind of treatment I wanted and respect what I wanted. And together we reached that goal.
And I remember meeting her family, taking pictures, and then afterwards, walking home, I called my wife and I said, I don't get a lot of chances to have experiences like that. And I'm really glad I came.
Now, as her battle with ovarian cancer continues with maintenance chemotherapy, her goal is within reach. Hortense marches on, undaunted.
Hortense could have 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, I don't know, but I mean, she's gonna do special things with every moment she has. It's just the kind of person she is.
The key is do not give up. No matter what you hear, don't give up.
She had that first nursing interview yesterday. We wish her the best. Now, Hortense asked us to share this quote. Cancer may take over every cell of your body, your physical, emotional strengths, your financial resources, even your dignity. However, you have to fight back to preserve your spirituality and your identity. Doing so, you're still a winner, even when the disease kills you. Sparkle of Hope, by the way, which has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past decade to fight cancer. That's this Saturday. I'm proud again this year to serve as MC. It is a great event. It's at Monona Terrace, and you can learn more at sparkleofhopemadison.org.
What an inspiration she is.
She is something.
Yeah,
she was
she
great.
is.
We really loved meeting her. We'll be right back.
Well, take a look at this. He has bright orange hair, no nose, and crazy googly eyes. Skating to center ice, it's Gritty, the new mascot for the Philadelphia Flyers, and he is terrifying Twitter. Some are calling him Nightmare Fuel and suggesting he looks like a character from a Stephen King novel. The NHL website made a bio for the furry fellow, calling him talented but feisty, the son of a bully, and lovely or loyal but mischievous.
And trying to compete with a Philly fanatic, the
that
Phillies mascot.
Creepy, those eyes.
Yeah, look at those things. He'd be
It's like-
scary.
It's like, where's he looking?
Plus, he's like 7'5" on skates, so you gotta be careful.
It's Grady!
Is he?
It is Tuesday, September 25th. It is National Voter Registration Day, so if you're not registered to vote, today would be a great day to start that process.
It's also Crab Meat Day. There are 3 types of crab which are found all over the world. We even have some yummy, yummy crab meat right here.
We think.
There's freshwater, terrestrial, and then semi-terrestrial. I wonder what kind of crab's in here.
Semi-terrestrial, so they like crawl out of the water?
Correct. Water and like
you want to eat those? Oh, do people eat hermit crabs?
No, there are just 3 types of crabs, not 3
Oh, I
types of
thought it
edible
was 3
crabs.
types of crab meat. I thought.
No. There's 3 different types of crab, not in this particular spread.
Okay.
There's probably no kind of crab in that.
And as long as it's good. We're not going to ask too many questions. Do you approve?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the crew said it was good.
Okay.
Awesome.
It is also one-hit wonder day. Everybody's got a one-hit wonder that they love, right? These, of course, those memorably catchy songs that were played everywhere, if only for a short time. I remember, and it all kind of depends on your generation.
Right.
So for me in the 80s, it was like, I remember Dexy's Midnight Runners had Come On Eileen.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
Safety
song.
Dance by Men Without Hats.
Yeah.
Those. How about you?
Closing time. I think we were just talking about that.
She's a little
Semisonic.
younger than we are.
Not by that much. Not by that much.
If you ask Gary Canalti, it would be Convoy.
Way to go,
By
way
C.W.
back.
McCall.
C.W. McCall.
Who I had never heard of C.W. McCall until Gary brought him into
Until
our lives.
Gary. Okay.
Ice Ice Baby,
Vanilla Ice, yeah.
Right.
That
What
works.
else is on that list?
Party All the Time, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody Watching Me, Rockwell. Remember that?
That
Oh,
works.
yeah. Somebody
There's some great
watching
songs.
me.
Take on Me, Aha.
Oh, yeah.
And you
that
spin
became
me right round.
Well, then Pitbull used the melody for his own
hook.
Yes.
song.
So
So,
plenty of
there you
one-hit
go.
wonders coming back around.
All those songs now stuck in your head, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Your day is now ruined.
Sorry, guys.
So the severe weather diminishing.
Diminishing quite a bit, actually. A lot of good news for us. This line of storms is moving fairly quickly, and because of that, the threat dying down quickly along with it.
Good.
But we do have some interesting showers on the way. We'll take a closer look at that full forecast for you right after the break. It's been a little active this afternoon for us. Starting off the day cloudy with some fog, and then that really thick cloud coverage, of course, building in this afternoon along with the rain. We've had showers for the last few hours, but as we look back over just the last 3 hours, notice central Wisconsin was dry just a little bit ago. We had this line slide on through. Now things are clearing out, actually starting to get a little dry patch on the western side of Dane County, which is good news for us. This line, a little bit of some wind with it. and of course the heavier rainfall. But the good news, again, it's moving through fairly quickly. As this does continue to slide, we do still have a severe thunderstorm watch for much of the southeast area of the state until 10 o'clock this evening. They have been canceling the watch slowly but surely as this line shifts through. Of course, that line of thunderstorms extends all the way into northern Illinois. They're dealing with a much stronger storm threat for the day. Had a few severe thunderstorm warnings triggered for Illinois and in Iowa, also a few tornado warnings. Only one severe thunderstorm warning for us a little earlier. That was canceled, actually. No tornado warnings for us right now, but we still do have the slight risk for severe weather as we wait for this cold front to officially completely slide on through. That really coming from more the threat for some really heavy winds or strong winds with those storms popping up. Not so much of a rain threat. We've had heavy rain at times, but notice most of Dane County close to half an inch or under. Anywhere west, barely even an inch for some spots of rainfall. So not a big rain event for us today, but we definitely saw some stronger wind gusts earlier. Again, this is as a front continues to slide east through the Midwest, bringing us this little rain threat, but also some cooler air going to shift in behind the front. We're going to have quite a drop. Already seeing that cooler air shift in for the western side of the state. An 18-degree drop for us in Bosco Bell, about a 16-degree drop in Mineral Point, and then in Madison already a 13-degree drop in the last 24 hours. Still a little warmer for us in the eastern side of the state, but that's because, of course, that cooler air hasn't quite got there just yet. You can almost see the clear divide where the line is right now. We do have the chance to still see a few lingering isolated showers even after this line has officially gone through. So we're not going to call it a dry night for us, but the showers are going to slowly wrap on up. The clouds pulling away as well by early Wednesday morning. It's going to be a little cool outside. Overnight lows will be in the mid-40s for us. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, but a rain threat not in the forecast for Wednesday. We'll hold off until Thursday before we have the potential to see some showers coming back in. A cloudy sky to start off on Thursday, and then those shower chances really in the afternoon. Could be seeing a little more rain accumulation for us for Thursday. Right now it's cloudy outside. We had the heavy rainfall downtown just a little bit ago. Right now it's looking like light showers for us. Temperature-wise today, about 75 our high, so that warmer air was certainly in place, a little bit above average for us. Also, was a little muggy outside as our dew points in the 60s still, but with all that humid air sliding east, we're going to become a little more comfortable tomorrow. As the temperatures drop, so will our dew points. 61 right now. As I mentioned, that humidity is high at 97% currently. Not too comfortable, but once we see the sky clear out, our temperatures are going to drop quite a bit. Quite a fall-like evening and overnight for us. Early tomorrow morning, we'll be at about 46 degrees to start off our Wednesday. The thunderstorm's going to wrap up. It'll still stay a little breezy, but it will be much cooler outside. Tomorrow, plan on highs in the upper 50s under that partly cloudy, partly sunny sky for our Wednesday. No alert days in the forecast. That's the good news. We are going to see our winds pick up just a little bit again on Thursday. It'll warm up just a little bit for us on Thursday, but staying cool and comfortable for Friday heading into the weekend. Our Friday after rain chances will be in the afternoon. Looks like we'll start off partly cloudy. Overnight lows will stay in the 40s. Heading into the start of next week, we'll have on and off shower chances almost every day into the middle of the week as we look to slowly wrap up September and start to head into October here in just no time.
It's hard to believe.
I know.
October already.
It goes flying by.
It does. It does go flying by. I'm sorry I had all those one-hit wonders stuck in my head.
The whole time?
Trying to forecast. That's so you guys just did me there. I was a little distracted. No, but the rain chance right now, that is good news for us. The severe threat winding down. The watch is slowly being canceled, so things are mellowing out for us tonight.
And cooling down.
Cooling down quite a bit.
I closed the windows this noon because I knew it was going to rain, turn the air on. I think I'm going to have to turn the air off.
Yeah.
If you want the AC, well, it's going to be 46 tonight.
Well,
I don't know what you're going to need.
I'm not sure we're going to need it.
No, probably not.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Fortune released its list of the most powerful women in business this year.
Number one is Marilyn Houston. She is chair, president, and CEO of Lockheed Martin, the country's largest defense contractor. Number two is Mary Barra. She is chair and CEO of General Motors. But progress for women appears to have stalled. Last year, there were 32 female CEOs leading Fortune 500 companies. This year, that number's dropped to 24.
Well, are you in the market for a new toaster? This is a huge investment. You won't believe the choices that await you.
Get out alone. Up next, Consumer Reports puts a bunch of toasters to the test, and we'll find out which one pops out on top when Live at 4 continues.
From the Channel 3 tower cam there over the west side, a little gloom out there. Had some showers roll through today.
Nothing severe, so that's good.
That's gone, yep. Consumer Reports just finished testing 2- and 4-slice toasters.
4-slice, wow. Testers even looked at a toaster designed with a gluten-free setting. Leah Linscheid reports on which toaster pops to the top.
No matter how you slice it, the toaster is a must-have appliance for most kitchens, which is why Consumer Reports tests dozens of models every year.
We set each toaster to a medium setting, and then we see how well it'll toast a single slice and then a full batch.
This industry standard chart, yes, that really is a thing they use, helps testers categorize how well each toaster performs. The best toasters match this evenly brown toast in the toast color chart.
We're looking for a good color range with each toaster so that everyone who uses the toaster will be happy with their toast.
Consumer Reports also assesses how long each toaster takes to deliver the goods. The faster, the better.
You want a toaster that's really easy to use and clean. You don't want any cracks or crevices, and you want to be able to pull out that crumb tray very easily.
Testers even looked at a toaster with a gluten-free bread setting.
Gluten-free bread is a bit denser than regular bread, and you might not get the same results on the same setting.
The $30 Bella delivered and performed excellent on the standard setting with regular bread, too. Toasting for a crowd? Consider splurging on this top-rated 4-slice toaster, the $100 Breville Bit More. It has wide slots for bagels, and if your toast turns out too light, press the Bit More button and it will toast a little longer. For WISC News 3, this is Leah Linscheid.
Who knew the choices?
As I was watching that, I thought, boy, toasters haven't really evolved much in the last 4 years.
The technology is
Other
pretty
than the
much
gluten thing, it's all the same.
Consumer Reports tested all the toasters with pre-cut packaged bagels, but if you're a bagel lover and like a fatter bakery bagel, be sure to look for a toaster with the widest slots you can find.
This is a lot of thought put into a very simple thing. Some toasters have a bagel setting that toasts on only one side so you can brown the cut side, keep the other side softer.
Boy, we're way overthinking this.
Man, I can't believe we spent that much time on that.
All
right,
right,
if you have a gardener, plant, or lawn question, now is the time to get it answered.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here. She's standing by to take your calls. There she is, the number 270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after the break.
Good news, we don't have any major accidents right now. Things, of course, moving just a little slow, though, on the Beltline. If you're planning on traveling in either west or eastbound, either direction, speeds reduced both ways. Westbound about 17 miles an hour near John Nolan Drive. Eastbound about 19 miles per hour. Bouncing down to Verona, things look okay right now, and heading up towards Middleton. No major delays. Nothing unexpected for us at this time of day. Overall drive times northbound to Janesville to the Beltline will take you about 29 minutes. Southbound, the Beltline down to Janesville, about 29 minutes as well. So same there, north or south, you're going to be good to go. And then Sun Prairie to downtown, about 18 minutes. All speeds where we would like to see. Again, our rain pattern is shifting east, so things are starting to dry up all the roads, which is good news. But we do still have a few slick spots, so exercise a little bit of caution before you hop on the roadways. That's a quick look at First Alert Traffic. Listen back over to you guys.
All right, Dana, thank you. A fancy, vivid pink diamond is going on the auction block, and Christie's is estimating this gem will sell for almost $50 million. The diamond, weighing 18.96 carats, is the largest of its kind to be sold in the company's history. The diamond on display in London this week ahead of going to auction at the Four Seasons Hotel in Geneva, Switzerland on November 13th.
Lisa, that looked good on you.
That's beautiful.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here.
I'm sorry.
Taking your plant and garden questions. Good to see you.
Hello.
Brought a little mum along.
I did bring a little mum along.
It is the season, right?
The season, mums, pumpkins, corn shucks, all that stuff.
There we go. Let's get to the phones. We'll start with Bonnie in DeForest. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
I have a tropical hibiscus, and it's huge. And I'm wondering if I could bring it in for the winter months into like a shed that's like 55 degrees heated. Would I have to keep that watered, or could I just let it like go dormant, like sleep, and then hopefully in the spring it'd come back?
Bonnie, any tropical hibiscus are going to need to come inside to a place where there's a ton of light. And 55 degrees, it's not necessarily the temperature that's a problem, but in a shed where it's not in really high light, I don't think it's going to survive very well. Also, they're going to need to be regularly watered through the winter. And that brings up a really good point. Since the temperatures are going to be dropping, anybody who's got houseplants outside are really going to want to think about getting them into the house.
Check for bugs.
Check for bugs, but it's kind of almost too late for that. Bring them in, put them in your bathtub, and spray them down with insecticidal soap.
All right, now's the time.
Now's the time.
40 degrees.
Absolutely. 40 degrees, get them inside.
All right. Let's go to Mike. Are we going to Mike on line 2? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. Hey, I have an indoor shamrock plant that I inherited it over 20 years ago, and it's beginning to look a little bit sparse. I know it goes into a period of dormancy, but I was wondering if there's any fertilizer I can offer it to give it a little boost.
At this time of year, especially as plants are going into dormancy, they really want you to cut back on the fertilizing, let it go through that dormancy period. Kind of keep it, let it dry out on the surface before you water it. And you could do something slow release, but you'd want to do something really gentle and light as far as fertilizing is concerned.
Maybe wait till spring to fertilize?
If for a regular program, yeah, you'd want to wait till the spring.
Okay, let's go to Leah in Madison. Hi, Leah.
Hi. I bought a tree peony this year, and I'm getting conflicting information on what to do with it to keep us sort of survive through the winter.
The tree peonies are super hardy, and you won't have to do anything, but what you want to be really careful of is that you don't cut it back to the ground like you do with herbaceous peonies. All of those woody stems with those little buds, that's going to be for next year, and so you don't want to do what my husband did last fall and cut them back to the ground like you did with the regular ones.
Harvey.
Oh, boo.
Stick with cars, buddy.
So just
stick with cars.
Just leave it, and it'll be fine.
All right.
Let's go to Cheryl, I think it is. Cheryl's in Linden Station. Hi, Cheryl. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have some canna roots. I've heard you can leave them in and winter them in the ground, but then I've been told, no, you got to dig them up. What do I do?
They've got to be dug up. So get a big shovel, because they probably are 3 times the size they were when you put them in the ground. Dig them up, brush the dirt off, and wherever you see those little buds, you can break them apart. Put them in a flat with maybe some Excelsior or something that will, some peat moss. Keep them in a cool, dark, airy spot, and check them every month or so to make sure that they're not getting rotten, and they should be good to go next spring.
Okay. Let's go to Rita in Partyville. Hi, Rita.
Hi. I was wondering about the plant called Cologne.
Okay.
And I've tried planting it several different times, and it kind of winter kills. but then
Cleome-
I'll get a whole patch going, and it really looks beautiful, but I can't keep it.
Let it go to seed. Cleome is an annual here. It's also called spider flower. But what you want to do is it's an annual, but the seed are hardy. So you want to let it go to seed, let it drop some seed in your patch, and then next spring you'll get new plants from the seed.
So it seeds itself.
It's a reseeder, but you can't keep the original plants going.
All right, I think we got time maybe for one more. Jeannie in Mineral Point. Go ahead, Jeannie.
Hi, I have 3 flowers that I didn't get potted this summer, and well, I got them potted, but I haven't got them planted in the ground yet. And they're daylilies.
Okay.
Can I still plant them, or what should I do with them?
Daylilies will be fine. Go ahead and get them in the ground. Maybe keep a little bucket of mulch, bark mulch somewhere where it doesn't freeze. And when the ground freezes, go ahead and mulch them in, and they'll be fine.
And it's time to clean up the gardens?
Yeah, definitely. Anything that's diseased, you want to cut back and get rid of that. Don't leave it in your compost. Time to think about maybe your final lawns, lawn fertilizing for winterizer and doing those final cuts.
We were just talking about planting. It seems like yesterday.
I know. We were talking about planting yesterday. Now we're talking about unplanting.
Time goes. All right, Lisa, thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you, everyone, for calling in. We'll get to you next time, and we'll be right back with a final check of your forecast. Dana's back. Some good news.
We do have some good news. So the severe thunderstorm watch has officially been canceled for everywhere in southern Wisconsin. That's the good news for us. Temperature-wise tonight, we are going to watch these showers and thunderstorms slowly wrap up. It's still going to be a little breezy, but it's going to be much cooler and clearer. Overnight lows will be in the mid-40s. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it'll be a little cool outside, but very pleasant. Upper 50s, very fall-like, quite seasonal, and partly sunny for us, with a bit of a breeze, about 8 to 15 miles per hour for us for our Wednesday. Not too bad of a forecast for tomorrow. I'm okay with it, and it's good news that these storms, we were looking at the potential to see some stronger storms come through. Looks like we just had some moments of heavy rain, but otherwise things are going to keep moving east and calm down for us.
Very autumnal coming up.
Yes.
What's the normal high this time of year? Around 65 or something?
Around 65, so mid to low 60s depending on where you're at in central and southern Wisconsin. So we'll be just slightly below average tomorrow.
All right. I don't mind.
No, not at all.
I love
it's
autumn.
fine.
That's right. It's a great time.
Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, well, motherhood has become a fashion accessory in some circles. I haven't heard about this, but we'll find out if that's a good thing.
And a new implant can help some paralyzed patients walk again. We'll find out more about this groundbreaking science. Charlotte promises she'll be back, so we'll do much better tomorrow on the next Live at 4. In today's final touch, it's life imitating art.
All at the hands of artist Howard Lee from Manchester, England. Take this dragon. Lee draws a dragon next to the identical real object. It's really hard.